Okay, so I don't really know how I'm going to start this video. What I want to talk about today is kind of your journey as a player in Counter-Strike and what a lot of people kind of miss when they think about how to improve at the game overall, okay? I'm not sure if this video is going to come out as coherent, and if it's not going to make much sense to a lot of people, but I hope that you pay attention and you actually try to learn something from what I'm saying and that you can get something out of it. That's the point that I'm trying to get across with this video. So hopefully there's not too much yapping, but yeah, let's get into it. Before I continue with this video, here's a quick word from our sponsor. CSGO Big is a site where you can play your favorite games like case battles, roulette, coin flip, jackpot, and even open cases on their site. You can deposit using my affiliate code ONEBIRD, and you get a bonus when you deposit in CSGO skins, crypto, gift cards, and credit card. You can withdraw with CSGO skins or crypto, whichever one you prefer. Make sure you head to the link in my description and use the code ONEBIRD for deposit bonus when you sign up. Okay, back to the video. So I think what a lot of people miss when they're playing Counter-Strike or trying to improve is that you're only going to get as good as the challenge that's presented to you, okay? So if all you do is queue up casual matchmaking, right, 10 versus 10, you're not going to improve at Face It, and you're not going to gain elo, and you're not going to, be able to overcome challenges in 5v5 games, right? That's obvious, okay? But the same can be said about people who don't play enough Counter-Strike to get good at it, right? Take a look at these players who you've probably heard of, right? Manesi, Zywoo. Look at how many matches they have. Look at the time that they've spent in game, right? It's not an accident that these players got good. Everybody says like, oh, you've got to put in the time, you've got to put in the time. And a lot of people don't really take that seriously. You really have to put in time to get good at Counter-Strike, okay? Whether that's learning new setups, learning new tactics, learning new smokes, improving your mechanics, improving your communication. It's just like people think video games aren't real life. Video games are real life. You're gaining life experience when you play and play and play and play. You're not, tapped into the Matrix as like a, video game character who's not living in reality. You're living in reality, guys. You have to remember that this is the only way that people get good at things, okay? Yes, some people are more naturally attuned to improving at the start. Nobody's really born good at anything if you think about it. You have to learn and experience things and grow. But what a lot of people miss about improving at anything is that these people who are the best and these people who are right under the best and the people who are right under them, compared to somebody who doesn't put in effort, doesn't put in the time, they look maniacal, they look psychotic, right? If you're thinking, oh, I can just not really put in effort, I can just kind of coast by and expect people to, improve around me, and then therefore I'm just going to improve naturally. It doesn't happen. You have to work hard and you have to be challenged, okay? And this is what people forget, and they get really upset when people, challenge them, when people oppose them in game, right? So I'm going to go over like a basic progression on a specific map to kind of show you how games evolve from low elo to high elo to professional level games, okay? Alright, let's take Mirage for an example because it's a map that kind of everyone plays, and this will make the most sense because the most people will have the most experience playing in these scenarios. So think about the first time you ever loaded up Mirage and you tried to play it, right? The first ever time against other people who are also playing it for the first time, right? You're not getting smurfed on or anything. This is just equal skill versus equal skill. When you're on the T side, right, and you swing out mid and you just come here and you peek, you probably died, okay, to an AWP window because somebody very basically just said, oh, I'm going to come here and I'm going to do this and I'm going to shoot. Okay, simple. Let's evolve the game. And so again, we're in the mindset of somebody who is just started playing, right? You say, oh, look, you can actually throw a smoke that lands in window, right? I hope I don't lose you guys here because I have a point I'm trying to make with this. Okay, now you've progressed. Okay, so now imagine this scenario, and this doesn't happen, but just imagine it for me, okay? You play for the rest of your life with this smoke only, and the other players that you're playing against never do anything that will make you scared to run around in mid as a T, right? You will never improve beyond this level because you're never being challenged by anything, right, that you haven't seen before. If this smoke is enough to get the other team to do nothing to you, you're never going to learn how to play against things that are going to counter you, right? And so as a player who's played a lot of Counter-Strike, I can think of, a ton of ways to counter this smoke, right? The most obvious one is the CS2 mechanic where you can nade smokes, right? So imagine you're playing in mid, and this nade comes down, you've never seen it before, and you get destroyed, right? By somebody just peeking like that. Now that's something that you can add to your mental playbook of counters that could be happening to you, right? So now you expect it, and you've learned, and you've grown, okay? This is probably one of the most basic examples I can think of, but this is how anyone improves at anything, and specifically Counter-Strike. You add that nade onto the game. Now you add the connector player throwing a smoke like this. Okay, very simple. Anyone can throw this, right? And now you have to worry about somebody being behind the smoke. You've probably never seen this before since it's your first time playing, so you have no idea what to do. You lose to it, and then you improve. Okay? If you're going to get upset that the other team is doing something that you don't expect and that you didn't think they would do, you are bad. Get that through your head. You need to improve, okay? If you don't want to get mad and you don't want to get outplayed by plays that you think are silly or that shouldn't have worked against you, then you have to improve. If you don't improve, you'll just continue to be mad at these same things forever. Okay, I can already hear people in the comments, but Bird, I can't account for everything while I play. How am I supposed to account for everything? Okay, I want you to take a look at this simple image I've kind of created, and I want you to imagine this circle as the number of plays that you've ever seen before that you're ready for, okay? Now with the example of the nade breaking the smoke in window, let's say your knowledge expands on this little bump, okay? And with the connector smoke play, somebody playing behind the connector smoke, your knowledge also has a little bump. And now these are the things that you're ready for, okay? Your knowledge has expanded and you're more ready for these things to happen to you. But once you start adding on more and more and more plays, there are things you can't account for, right? And that's just the nature of the game. You have to get that through your head, that this is the nature of the game. The circle shrinks slightly in other areas where you might not expect it to happen. But Counter-Strike is not a game where it's just you, right? There are 4 other players on your team. Now let's overlay all the circles of all your other teammates on top of each other and look at how robust this becomes, okay? Now there's at least one player who's ready for a multitude of things on your team. And one of the ways that things can go wrong is if your team, let's say you're solo queuing or you have a group of friends that you play with, there's a gap in the knowledge of everybody, right? Things are going to not go so well if that specific thing happens to you. And since Counter-Strike is a game where information is denied to you, you don't have the full picture, right? It's not like chess where you're given the full picture at every moment and it's up to you to decide what to do next, right? You're not given the full picture. And that's what I find so interesting about Counter-Strike, is that there haven't really been games in the past, besides maybe real life war games, where it's this immersive and this incredible in the way that it's able to deny information from you and still have a coherent experience where you can have fun and learn new things and it not be total bullshit, right? And this is why I get so frustrated with people who get upset over small mistakes. They don't realize that there can be coincidental team compositions in solo queue and even in 5 stacks and in your team, right? Where people are all missing this same link. And so it's up to you to learn from your mistakes and learn from your team's mistakes and find out how to counter these things once they happen to you, okay? Okay, again, this video is kind of theoretical, and I don't expect you to understand this immediately. Unless my visual aids were clear enough for you, then hopefully you understand. So coming next on my channel, I'm going to be doing T-side guides, and I'm going to wait a little bit to talk about CT side Dust 2 and T side Dust 2, because even though I did think that I was good at Dust 2 in the past, it still has been a while, and the meta of Counter-Strike and kind of the way people play has changed drastically since Dust 2 has been in the pool. So I'm just going to give it some time and kind of learn and play more myself and try to hand down advice that I can give to you from my perspective, okay? Alright, if you like this type of content, leave a comment down below if you want to see me make more of it. Like the video if you want to see more just like this. It really helps the algorithm a lot and it motivates me to keep making more videos. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Peace.